Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Humans are Brainwashed, written by Chronic Boom 3. Transcription started. Hello, this is Dr. Quack Reeves. Today I'll be conducting an interview with our subject. For the record, today's date is the 5th of the 4th quarter calendar date 8910-3. The subject in question that I'll be interviewing is a pre-modern species, poacher, in relation to its experiences prior to the acquisition of said subject. Subject is male, roughly 340 substandard units tall when within a bipedal stance, and 180 substandard units tall when within a quadrupedal stance. Subject age is unknown, but assumed to be within full development range. Biological deterioration due to age has yet to occur, suggesting that the subject may be younger than assumed, and may be referred to as partially juvenile. Subject has been within our care since the 23rd of the 1st quarter calendar, of some same calendar date. Subject has obtained prior training to ensure the safety of personnel, and the docility of the subject. Subject has also received language training, trained in the regional dialect of the majority of Puja tribes present around subject's original location. The purpose of this interview is to hopefully obtain further insights into the anthropological origins of the culture amongst sapient species, and how that culture develops in relation to social and environmental conditions. Subject was selected for this interview because of its unusual origins of having never interacted with another sapient species prior to the subject's capture. As required by law, I am required to state my species, sex, and physical appearance to avoid potential contaminations of subject responses, as well as to provide context to subject's behavior. Note that the subject has yet to be exposed to my species, and may act with hostility, fear, and/or stress, which has previously been observed with Puja subjects, and therefore is no cause for alarm. I, Quack Reeves, the interviewer, am of the modern species Zacharak. I am a male of my species, and I am 53 substandard units from head to tail. I have light brown fur covering my whole body, and possess 2 arms which extend from my shoulders. The brain, as well as my sensory organs, are contained within my skull, which sits above the shoulders. I do not possess any legs or any other locomotive appendages, and instead slither around on the ground. My diet consists mainly of meats. However, I am capable of consuming some species of nuts, native to my home world. I am currently adorned with standard research vest, and are otherwise nude. I acknowledge and accept responsibility that should I fail to accurately describe my appearance, biology, physical attributes, etc., I shall receive reprimand up to and including jail time and/or demotion. Accompanying me is an emotional support human, which may be used to calm the subject down. Should any complications arise, Jake, please state your full name, appearance, and disclosure. Additional subject identified, Jake. Hi, I'm Jake, Jake Martinez. I am, 153 substandard units tall. Oh, right. I'm also human. I am of the pre-modern species human. I'm a male, and I have blonde hair and brown eyes. I am a bipedal. Jake, I need you to specify that you only have hair in certain places, please. Oh, right, Doc. Sorry, Doc. Transmission amendment, Doc. Human English slang for doctor. Right, so I only have hair on my head and in some other places like my armpits, groin, and above the eyes. The doc told me that I apparently have a calming appearance for the, poacher. Because I somehow remind them of their children, which are also apparently hairless. That's, not entirely relevant for the interview, Jake. Just describe your appearance for me, please. Right, so I'm bipedal, meaning I have 2 legs which I use to walk around, and I have 2 arms which connect at the shoulders. I also have a skull like the doc's, where my brain and eyes and such are located. Transcription amendment by such, Jake means the rest of his sensory organs. Humans tend to value vision more than their other 5 senses. So, what else did you want me to say, Doc? Tell them what your diet is and what you are wearing. Then please read out the disclosure for me. Right, okay, so I'm omnivorous, meaning I eat meat and plants, not all plants, just some. Oh, and It has to be cooked first, too, and, I'm wearing pants and jeans right now, as well as shoes and socks and, glasses as well, and boxes, too. Can't forget about those. Editor's note. If you're unfamiliar with these items of clothing, please see the addendums at the end of this report. Okay, so a disclosure. I, Jake Martinez, acknowledge and accept responsibility that should I fail to accurately describe my appearance, biology, physical attributes, etc., I shall receive reprimand up to and including jail time and or demotion. Okay, good job, Jake. You may sit down if you wish. I am going to let them in now. Just follow my instructions and you will turn out fine. Subject Jake temporarily removed from transcription index. Sounds of door opening and closing. Pooja enters via quadrupedal locomotion. Pooja does not possess any garments on its person. Pooja is covered in blonde-colored fur over its whole body. Pooja does not appear to have sustained major injuries. However, signs of previous lacerations are visible in the forms of scars. Pooja shows aggression towards Dr. Reeves, baring its teeth and flattening its ears. Pooja shows concern for Jake and attempts to move Jake away from the doctor. Jake looks for approval from Reeves, and Reeves nods, an affirmation sign in human body language. Pooja grabs Jake's arm, pulling him away from Reeves, wrapping its arms around him, whilst retreating to the right side corner of the room. Jake shows signs of agitation, fear, and embarrassment, however, does not attempt to move away from the subject. After a few microcycles, subject shows signs of calming down. Dr. Reeves attempts to initiate dialogue. Hello, my name is Dr. Reeves, though if it is easier for you, you may refer to me as Reeves. Note, subject refused to wear translation implements, therefore translated vocalizations were broadcasting through the room's announcement speaker. Subject refused to respond. I assure you I'm not here to cause you harm. Your friend there is named Jake. Do you have a name? Subject looks down at Jake with confusion. Jake smiles back and waves, a human greeting. Jake shows signs of moderate worry. Subject looks back to Dr. Reeves. Subject speaks. Name? Subject shows signs of not understanding. Reeves. Yes, your name. Do you call yourself anything? Subject does not respond. Subject looks back down to Jake and sniffs his hair. Subject speaks once more. Fear. Jake is nervous, is he? Don't worry, he's fine. He's just unfamiliar with your kind. Just like you are nervous about me, right? Subject hugs Jake tighter. Jake makes a surprised vocalization. Subject shows signs of curiosity, prodding at Jake's clothing. Subject brings a claw to clothing, ripping it experimentally. Jake stirs uncomfortably. Jake re-added to transcription index. Please don't do that. Subject added to transcription index as subject. What? Subject pulls at Jake's shirt. Jake looks back to Reeves for clarification. I believe he's asking what you're wearing, Jake. It's, just my shirt. Please don't rip it. Subject disregards last statement and rips the shirt playfully. Reeves, can I ask you some questions? Subject does not respond. Subject ignores last statement. Subject sniffs Jake's hair again. Subject starts licking the hair. Subject shows signs of scenting. Reeves laughs. It appears that he's claimed you, Jake. Jake sighs. Don't feel so ashamed, Jake. This is why I asked for you after all. In fact, this is already some great progress. Notice how he's not even concerned about me anymore. We usually don't see this level of trust in a Pooja until they have been exposed to us for about a day. Jake sighs again. Well, I'm glad my discomfort has advanced science in some way. Actually, I was wondering about that. Do you really feel uncomfortable with what he's doing right now? I would assume that you would actually find it soothing. I have heard the humans used to have a history of grooming each other. I also know that you are fairly social creatures, and that contact with one another can be very important. What exactly do you find uncomfortable right now? Jake looks at Reeves, confused. Aren't you supposed to be asking him these sorts of questions? Technically, yes, but it might be beneficial to let him get confident with us. I don't think we'll be able to or willing to do so anyways right now. Also, don't forget, you are also a pre-modern species. The galactic community still has a lot to learn about you, and believe me, there is a lot to be learned. What do you mean? What I mean is your ability to adapt to your environment. Humans are actually the highest ranking when it comes to adaptability. You learn new things at an incredible rate, so much so that your human anthropologist just might be able to put me out of a job in a few years. Reeves laughs. There's got to be more to it than that. Is that really why Earth is in such a mess right now? Reeves sighs. Reeves. Unfortunately, yes. It's really that simple, you see. Humans aren't just adaptable, you rely on your adaptability. So much so that it is your main survival tactic. As you can probably tell, you don't really have much in the department of natural weaponry, especially when you look at the Puja. But what is so fascinating, and what makes you special, is that you don't need any. You are the definition of the underdog on your planet. Yet, you manage to dominate your planet. But, back to my main question. I want to understand your psychology. Is there any reason why you don't like the Puja grooming you? Jake takes a few moments to think. It makes me feel embarrassed. Would you care to elaborate? Well, I don't really know. I just, feels like something I shouldn't be doing. But your biology would suggest otherwise. It should be beneficial for you to allow him to groom you, so you could theoretically prevent parasites. Not that I'm saying that you do, but your evolutionary history, as far as I am aware, shouldn't discourage this sort of thing. There is little net loss for a potentially huge gain, saving your life. I don't really know what you expect me to say, Doc, but I'm just a university kid. I think you should be asking these questions to a human doctor. I don't really know the ins and outs of how we work. I guess it's just the culture that makes me feel this way. The culture? Yeah, I guess the things we'd seen as childish if another human saw me like this. Like I was being coddled or something. Do you personally think that it is childish? Yeah, a little. It feels too, intimate. Like he's trying to say that he's my guardian or something. It makes me feel dependent, like, I can't take care of myself properly. You realize this is completely natural exchange, right? If I am not mistaken, even some of your closest evolutionary relatives do the same thing. I wouldn't say that this is something to be ashamed of. You are offering invaluable assistance to me, Jake. You should celebrate that. You are helping us understand not only yourself, but another species as well. This could potentially save lives. Are you not proud of that? Jake does not respond. The subject gets Jake's attention. Fear, Jake, fear, no. The subject hugs Jake again. Jake control, no Jake. Subject appears to be thinking of a word. Jake, bad alpha, Jake control, you alpha. Is he calling me a bad alpha? No, Jake, fear bad alpha, I fear bad alpha, I alone, I knew alpha. No, you don't understand, I don't fear anybody. It's just my culture. Culture bad alpha, culture control, culture not here, but Jake fear culture, but Jake brainwashed. Note, this is unknown how the subject knew the word brainwashed, with its limited vocabulary. Theories suggest relation to the subject's past. Reeves. I think he's right, Jake. I think you are forgetting that you are still an animal. When's the last time you've done anything like this? When's the last time that you've had someone show you affection like this? Again, Jake does not respond, likely indication of negative response. Transcription ended. After interview observations. Whilst the original purpose of the interview was largely a failure, valuable insights into the human mind have been obtained. It appears that humans are not entirely the rational creatures we assumed them of because of their staggering technological progress. Several instances in this interview did I question the mental health of Jake, as much as his behavior had either disregarded or acted defiantly towards his nature. It has been proven that acting in such a way can be troublesome for many sapient species in the galactic community, causing unnecessary sadness, resentment, or stress in an individual. Much of what I observed regarding Jake's cultural misgivings were either obstructive, detrimental, or malicious towards me, nor the Puja, which brings into question why human culture developed in such a way to discourage these behaviors. I currently do not know why human cultures tend to discourage intimacy, but any potential reason, such as population control or a value for independence, no longer seem relevant to the current human world, broad as it is. I question why these cultural taboos continue to exist, and what purpose they serve to the human mind and all the powers above them. I also question why many humans appear to take these values to heart. It is both fascinating and disturbing to observe as the human act in disregard to their own self-interest, despite such actions not conflicting with their moral values. Furthermore, humans often seem to have discrepancies when it comes to such moral values if and when they conflict with societal values. What is fascinating is that humans will often prioritize their societal values over their moral values and personal interest. What is horrifying is that often these societal values are harmful or detrimental to the majority of humans. Due to these discoveries, I'll be issuing a formal complaint to the United Nations, the Independent Nations of Earth, and the Alliance of Territories of Earth in regards to the breaches of sapient rights, and will be calling upon the galactic community to conduct a thorough investigation into such breaches. I'll be personally counseling Jake, as well as any other human students currently on campus, to 1. Try and reverse this brainwashing, and 2. To try and discover the potential purpose and/or potential threats these cultural values may pose to both humans and any other sapiens who wish to integrate into the culture. Dr. Quack Reeves, GC International University. I would quickly like to thank the Tier 5 members, Markey, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnolds, Oakfield, Lord Azrakul, and it's difficult to pronounce. Thank you very much.